Hello fans, welcome to Magnetic Jigs TV. Biafrans, you can see as Musa boys turn this town into a ghost town. This is exactly what is happening in Imo State.
Hey God. No, none of now, nobody. For waiting.
After Biafra Liberation Army dealt with them, they came into this town, chase everybody away, keep arresting any young man they see on sight, tagging him to be a Biafra Liberation Army. So people have to leave the ancestral home, and they broke into people's properties, into all these shops. They broke into it and withered things away. Any valuable thing they see on sight is gone. They withered it away or more. You can see the level of atrocities being done by these guys called Musa boys. Well, it's where.
Just believe one. You open and put a here. Okay, Mary. Oh, more. Great lion himself. How make a Imo Butuzor. Welcome, Daddy, Papa. Respect. The love of Biafrans whenever you know the too much. The love of whenever you know the too much, Papa. Receive my salute. Receive my salute. Abarawa! Yesterday I tell you sharp. I call you sharp guy. Sharp guy. 2 times I blog sharp guy. You don't even know what to make and they call you that sharp guy. I blog 2 times sharp guy. You know even reason I say why this guy they call you sharp guy. You know reason am. So that but I call you sharp guy 2 times. You know reason I'm say why this guy they call you sharp guy. You know reason am. No be they cry today. You say you go sleep, you no go wake up. Or you mag I'm at church in the nobody know me. I couldn't just know from on internet when they feel they no here. You don't know me. Huh? Oh, you back when I tell my kind of neighbor. I go only one government, which is Doctor one you can one. Adam Jemono. Hey, oh, but you must bow. Church rat, animal.
Looking at this young man is saluting General Igwe Butuzor. General Igwe Butuzor is the chief commander in Biafra Liberation Army. The way he is organizing his boys and the way their operation is, Biafrans are happy with him. So this young man now is praising him so well. I'm praising the chief of staff, Ngozi Arakwese, for her beautiful work towards Biafran liberation.
From these units were Al-Banawi appointed ISIS West Africa Province Boko Haram leader, arrested the commanders loyal to Let Shakao. Are you following me now? The same Al-Banawi, the son of Muhammad Yusuf, the founder of Boko Haram, the person that Muhammad Buhari groomed personally to say, since your father is no more, you can take over Boko Haram. And Shekau said no, they have not relinquished power then. This happened in 2015. Are you listening to me? In 2015. Now, Al-Banawi was released from prison. Go back to the old preachings I made on this very boy. I met him at John Tozo's court in Abuja. He was released by the Chief Justice of the Federal High Court now, John Tozo, that they wanted to use to jail me, and I told the idiot, you cannot jail me, you're a fool. It was John Tozo, the present Chief Justice of the Federal High Court of Nigeria, that released this terrorist, this killer of ISIS. This is ISIS we're talking about. I have their facts and figures. Now, the Islamic State ISIS, West Africa province under the new leadership of Abu Musa al-Banawi, has taken over all territories under the control of the late Abubakar Shekau in a major revenge onslaught against the former, because when he grew up, he became of age. Buhari pushed him to go and take over his father's mantle. Shekau said no. This was the revenge. And how was it possible that Shekau was ambushed? Because Shekau attended a peace meeting called by Ibrahim Atahiru, the dead chief of army staff. And what I'm giving you is facts. I don't have time for rubbish. We have the very, of course, maybe apart from Mossad, we have the very finest intelligence in the world. I'm telling you this, the M branch. How was it possible that Shekau was surrounded? Because they wanted the continuation of that very meeting. I told you this thing many years ago. They called a meeting, they sat together, and they said to Shekau, stop attacking mosques and Muslims. Go to the south, go to the east and take it. And Shekau said, no, we cannot take the east. I want to give you one expo this night I've never told you people before. I was very, very close to Boko Haram leadership. Are you aware of that? Very, very close to them. They told me a lot of things. They told me a lot of things. Boko Haram leadership told me, I want to read the name of the person, told me in confidence, the person was being held at Ikoyi prison. I was in Kuje, because I was instrumental in making sure that people who are not guilty are released from prison, regardless if you call them terrorists, Boko Haram or not. So they loved me very much. I'm being honest with you. They were very close to me, and they told me something. Shekau told Buhari, you cannot take the East. That the East cannot be taken.
If you can recall very well, that Nnamdi Kalu has been saying this for a very long time, that Boko Haram is being sponsored by a great country, by a powerful nation. And today, God has already exposed the people that are behind Boko Haram. The former president of USA, President Barack Obama, was pointed as one of the people, or the major people, or the major person that is behind Boko Haram, because they used that Boko Haram to chase Jonathan away from presidency and they installed Buhari. Immediately Buhari took over that presidency. Now so Boko Haram gained power, gained their military equipment, and thank God now that time Nnamdi Kalu came up. At that time, though he has been there for a long time, but now that 2014, 2015, that was when Nnamdi Kalu came out fully, keep exposing them, keep saying so many things concerning Boko Haram and concerning Buhari regime, but so many people ignored him. People ignored him. They thought Nnamdi Kalu was mad, that he is just trying to use propaganda to scatter them. But indeed, after how many years now, the real truth is out.
How can you believe facts when you say it? If we had been able to reason properly, do you think Africa would be as poor as it is today? Of course not. It's because we cannot reason. I told you that they are part and parcel. They are in this game together. Buhari wants an attack on the east. He doesn't want the army to do it or the police to do it. He wants to use terrorists to do it. And ISIS was the perfect people to do this very job. I told you this many years ago. Do you know that today, surprise, surprise, Nigeria government is partnering with ISIS to defeat Boko Haram? I received message in the spirit. And when I want to preach it, something will tell me that I will say, why won't I preach it? After a while, it comes to pass. You will see the facts and evidence before you. How can any sensible government anywhere in the world partner with a terrorist group, the number one frontline terror group in the world, to defeat another terror group? Where has that ever been done before? That was what killed Ibrahim Atahiru. Are you aware of that? He was the one that masterminded it, because he was a failure in Borno when he went to fight Shekau. Shekau defeated him. So he was very desperate to redeem his name. So he went to ISIS and gave ISIS a deal. We're not going to attack you. That is why they call them, they change their name from terrorists to bandits. So ISIS can do whatever they like. No police will arrest them. No army will arrest them. No bombardment. Sheikh Gumi can go and negotiate with them. Nothing will happen to them. The key was to make them numerically stronger than Boko Haram, to make them the acceptable face of Islam, Fulani Islamic terrorism. And he succeeded. I know that Shekau was injured. He wasn't killed. He was injured. That's why they cannot display his body. He was injured. He was not killed. But I'm coming to that in a minute. The gospel from heaven. That's what I'm giving you. And they know in Asarok now they're shaking. Oh, how did he know? He has come again. I thought he was no longer going to broadcast. I know all these things. There is nothing we don't know. We know everything. That is why we managed to defeat Mietiala with the little meager resources. We defeated them because we know what they do not know. If I want all the governors dead in one night, they will all be dead. But I don't want them dead. At least not yet. Now listen. Do you know that Ibrahim Atahiru wanted to capture Shekau alive? Are you aware of that? So he can interrogate him and ask him, how come you're getting all this support? Because they know he's in Sambisa forest. Nigeria army has enough men and equipment to circle Sambisa forest and to engage from all sides. But most of the people in the military hierarchy of the zoo, they are all Boko Haram sympathizers, almost all of them. Another lesson for the Fulefus and the intellectual brigade to learn from, because the Fulanis don't kill their own. Never. They understand that these are the foot soldiers we need in the future to fight this very war to dip the Quran in the Atlantic. Buhari knew that very, very clearly. That was why Buhari was so disappointed with Shekau, that when they swore him as the president, Shekau continued, he didn't stop. That was Buhari's major disappointment with Boko Haram. They were his babies now. Who doesn't know that? And Ibrahim Atahiru, that died a few days ago, took billions upon billions of dollars to ISIS, to al-Banawi, and said to him, Abu Musa al-Banawi, take this very money, make it possible. I am going to strengthen you. You're going to be the face of Fulani terrorism in Nigeria. And he accepted it. And now they called Shekau to a meeting. At that very meeting, Shekau was attacked.
Guys, you can see exactly what is happening. They tried to use Boko Haram to take over the east. They could not. Now they try to use ISIS to take over the east. Thank God for the coming of Nnamdi Kalu, who exposed them, who formed ESN then, and everything was being countered. So the government of Nigeria was very annoyed with Nnamdi Kalu. Up to today, I can tell you that they are still looking for a way to take over the east. The very moment they captured east, they have captured the whole of Nigeria and the whole of Africa. Igbos, Bondiji, and Nigeria, Adibe, Islamized. Maybe you will not agree with us today, but when time comes, you will surely agree with us. Igbos are the pillars holding Nigeria from being Islamized. If not, every other ethnic group has been conquered. Just believe me, they have all been conquered. So thank God for Nnamdi Kalu. Thank God for Simon Ekpa. Thank God for all the real Biafrans that are agitating for the Biafrans. Not the fake ones, not the ones that are using the name of Biafra to commit atrocities, but the real ones that are agitating and fighting for the liberation of Biafra. Thank God you guys are doing better. Keep it up. God will surely be with you guys. Chukwu Kabiamana is with you guys, okay? After they have tried several times using Boko Haram, it didn't work. Using ISIS, it didn't work. Using Fulani herdsmen, using bandits, using all sorts of things, they have now resort to use Igbos. I'm telling you, that's exactly what is happening. Ha anashiata guys usize ka ha use ndị Igbo wee nwetezie the east ha na-achọ since. And so many of us don't know what is happening. They are using our governors, they are using our politicians, they are even using our individuals, citizens that they have given gun, formed them and called them security operatives, while they are indeed being manipulated by the Islamic State of Nigeria. They don't even know exactly what they are doing.
When we said no, he said okay. He now asked Mietiala to take over. That was why Mietiala was killing people. Now they know that Mietiala can no longer do the job. They now contracted ISIS to do it. That's your one Nigeria for you. Obasanjo, are you listening? One Nigerianist. Didn't. Let me tell you something. Boko Haram will not stop. And the fear of the Nigerian army is that they cannot fight this war on two fronts. So it is better for them to get ISIS to do the job, ISIS that they can trust and rely upon to begin the killing, the terrorism, sacking villages in TV land, taking over, Nupe land, doing all of these things. That's what they prefer. And then they can now move the Nigerian army to come to the east to meet us. That was their plan, that's their game plan. They wanted to do this deal with Chad. Unfortunately, Idris Dabi died. Now that is, you see how Elohim was. That was the deal. Let the Chadian and the Niger troops come in to help them to stabilize the north, while the main bulk of the Nigerian army will march with their tanks to the east. That's the game plan. The whole thing has fallen apart because there is no Buhari anymore. And ISIS is now in charge of your lives. Boko Haram may pity you a little bit. ISIS, they have no pity whatsoever. No pity whatsoever.
Kidnap Edibos Junction. What you can them mother to Lebanon. They kidnap a judge of a cross on your Mutaketa.